Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. I have to say I love my theme for today, and I'm calling it I Dwell in Possibilities. Oh, friend, I hope you do also. Stay tuned, I'll be right back after the break. So recently, I saw a reference to a poem by Emily Dickinson called I Dwell in Possibility. I have to say, like most things that take me by surprise, I have to admit I did a double take on the title. And then I thought, I hope I am a dweller in possibility, that I leave the door wide open to allow all possibilities that come my way to run wild without my interference, so I may follow the path to whatever is waiting on the other side. I'm guessing that possibility is not a word that gives many people much comfort. We want surety and security and not the whimsical nature of what might be possible. You and I know people who think they are so sure of what they want in life that they close the idea of what might be possible for their future instead of leaving the door open just a crack to catch a wisp of wind on the wings of possibility that might just be passing by. I know we all like stability. It's in our DNA to find and create comfort and build a nest and live peaceably in the kingdom. But what if we were made for more than a staid, settled, quiet, sedate life? Friend, when was the last time you truly took off your blinders and you looked around at all that's available to you? If you'll just pull yourself out of your comfortable rut that you've been living in. What if you reached back to the start in life and brought forth the memories of a time when you believed in the idea of what is possible? What is possible for your life, your work, your dreams, your hope, your future? Okay, don't dismiss today's podcast as living in the past without any value for your life today, because time after time after time, history shows us men and women who had amazing second halves in life. Putting it bluntly, I have to say that I see so many people at my conferences who are just waiting for the golden ticket to retirement so they can go and do the things they've always dreamed of, or go and do nothing. And as I watch them teeter and totter up and down the aisles, my wish for them is I do hope they live long enough to do what's on their bucket list before they, kick the bucket. For many, the whole idea of pursuing what is possible is just really too big to comprehend and seems too hard to do. So they willingly bury their head in the proverbial sand and pray that they weather the storm instead of pulling out a surfboard and riding the wave. Please tell me that scared person is not you. At this age and stage in your life, you can't be that fearful to let life pass you by. Listen, I get it. When we get a little older, and don't be lulled into thinking we're wiser. Trust me, I've met quite a few adults. It is when we begin to stop dreaming of the idea or notion or inkling that something else is out there and waiting for you and I to discover. Too many people accept their sorry, boring life for what it is. Excuses abound as to why they can't do whatever it is they had hoped to do. Listen, I fully understand that if your health isn't where you want it to be, you're going to be at a disadvantage. Before my knee surgery, everything hurt. And now I have a new lease on life, not to mention new knees. I can honestly say that the gift of modern medicine is life-changing. So I have to ask, what do you need to do? What do you need to get fixed or put in place or simply dust off to find the key to your life's possibilities? I was curious as to what excuses most people give for not following their dreams, and I got this list from lifehacker.com. And here's like 7 things people don't do because they don't really know what to do. And like the first one is somebody said, I don't know what my passion is. Seriously? You don't know what your passion is? Okay, number 2, I'm already too busy with work and my passion doesn't pay the bills. I don't know about that one. 3, I don't want to sacrifice my free time. Well, then, friend, you're going to have a lot of free time. 4, I'm afraid I'll fail. See, that one bites because I'm like, well, if you don't try, how will you know? All right, number 5, I don't know where to start. Okay, I can answer that. Start with what makes you happy. 6, I can't do it alone. You could. It's fun to go with others, but you can do it alone. And number 7, people say, well, I'll get to it later. To which I say, well, when is later? I mean, later. Later is when, which for many people later is never. And that's what concerns me. All right. So what I found interesting is that all the excuses I found online fell within the bounds of what is pretty much listed that I just gave you without my commentary. I really can't fathom that somebody in their right mind at this age would be able to say with a straight face, they don't know what their passion is. I mean, really, what rock are you living under? You don't know what your passion is? I've got a ton of them. I just don't have time to do them all. But I certainly try. Okay, here's an easy way to figure out what you care about. Just answer Deb this question. What makes you mad? I mean, really, what makes you so angry that you would fight something, someone, or someplace? We might be getting somewhere. All right, what makes you sad? What breaks your heart? What makes you smile? What's the one thing you do at the end of every day that you say to yourself, this was a good day? Friend, if you can answer those questions, you are on the path to your life of possibilities. And if you can't answer those simple questions, you need to figure out when and how the fire of life died within you. While you're still living, you might want to figure out how to dwell on possibilities. The idea that you're too busy with work and your passion doesn't pay the bills is a cop-out, and you know it. That's about the depth of a kid in grade school. Come on, you're better than that. If you've settled for living your life for a paycheck and not a bit of passion or possibility, you will be bankrupt before you know it. Author Mark Batterson says, we start out pursuing a passion and end up settling for a paycheck. So instead of making a life, all we do is make a living. You may be making a living, but consider how much more you would gain if you would allow your passions to make you a life alongside your day-to-day requirements. The answer that really threw me was the idea that people didn't want to sacrifice their, quote, free time to pursue their passion, or at least their possibilities. Seriously, you would rather lie on the couch and watch a ball game than make a small step in the right direction of what you say you want out of life. Hey, if that's the case, I honestly have nothing I can say to you. I would be blown away by that attitude and the idea of laziness that I would probably self-combust if I was your friend, and I am your friend, so don't make me do that. But knowing that you wouldn't get off the couch to clean up the mess, it would frustrate me, but I'd have to leave you to wallow in your dirty t-shirt, wondering why your friends are doing so well and you're still flipping burgers. Metaphorically speaking, of course. I understand the fear of failure is probably what keeps most people working day and night to create their dream and their future. But don't let your fear of the unknown take hold of your life. Friend, you're in control. You make the decisions. You are smart enough to figure out what it will take to succeed. You are smarter than you give yourself credit for, so own your power and do what you can with what you have. I have to admit, not knowing where to start is a legitimate issue for many people. I struggle to do just one thing. I like to have variety in my life, and that means I have to rein in my wants and desires to create things that are not in my wheelhouse for speaking, with the exception of great stories I tell from my erstwhile adventures. I've done things that to others don't make sense. Well, they make perfectly good sense to me, including my MIG welding class. That is glass metal arc welding, sometimes referred to its subtitle as MIG. It was fun, and I made some great art. And I'm probably the only person who has a metal manger set with a little baby Jesus and animals, Mary and Joseph, all made out of steel. Suffice to say, sometimes when you step outside your comfort zone or you let your creative side run free, it is amazing how refreshed you'll be to charge ahead to another day. Just like I had to do by buying steel-toed boots and wearing a do-rag to keep the sparks from burning off my hair. Admittedly, my classmates had to teach me how to put it on. I had no idea. I will say, the idea of going it alone on your dreams, it's not a lot of fun. But if you're open, I can guarantee you're going to meet some wonderful people along the path. Being alone is no doubt a bit harder, and you do need to proceed with caution when dealing with strangers. But within your network, you should be okay to find a fellow traveler on the path. Initially, they may not be the person you would have originally welcomed into your life, but more times than not, they'll end up being the right person for you at this time in your life. Don't be so exacting. Give others within reason the benefit of a doubt for fellowship, at least on the journey. Friend, if you dwell in possibilities, then you will have no time for being lonely or sad. It's just not possible when you allow your hopes and dreams to take flight. I'm going to end with the biggest lie of all, and that's the idea that you're going to get to it later. Let me just be honest. No, you won't. You know that. I know that. So stop deceiving yourself. The idea of later is a lie. It's not the truth. It's a cop-out, a falsehood, and a sham. And since you know that, I have to ask the obvious question. Hey, listener, don't you deserve better? Trying to rationalize the idea of later is not an option because it's not the truth. So it will not stand in the light of day. You must get started or keep going to continue down your path. The sooner the better. And if you plan to pursue the opportunities that the wind will float your way when you leave the door wide open for possibilities, friend, you'll take flight. Listen, I want you to dwell in possibilities. It is the only way to live the life you intended for yourself from the beginning. So don't let the excuses of the lazy class creep into your life, so much so you can't enjoy the fullness of life that's been given to you. Drinking from an empty cup is not a life plan. No one should think that is all there is for them. Your life was never meant to be a drudgery, no matter what you've done that you falsely think you need to pay ransom for. That's not how life works. The choice I'm asking you to make today is to understand, listener, you've been blessed with a life of possibilities, but now you have to choose to make the most of what you've been given. I hope you dwell in possibility. All right, you've been listening to Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life, and I hope you'll join me next week so we can continue these journeys of possibility to a great day and a better future. And remember, Deb doesn't care what the world says about you. I want you to know that I care, and I care because I believe you can do big things, but that's only going to happen when you stop living in the negative and look towards the light, and that light starts with a word of possibility. And here's my promise. I'm going to walk alongside you until you can see what's possible for your amazing life. And then we're going to follow that dream together. All right, you've been listening to Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life. I hope you'll join me next week. Same time, same place. Have a good one, everybody.